Gavin, what really stood out to me from watching these clips, man, that you provided us with is just your power. Being 57 yards and everything else, just the power, the consistency, that's what really stood out to me. And just having that's really going to help you out in your kicking game and everything else you've got. Okay. Now, my suggestions for your highlight video are the following. Okay. The first thing that we need to do is add an information slide at the beginning. Okay. But before we do that, we got to make sure we have a highlight video that we're going to provide to college coaches. Okay. What your kicking clips that you have here, all right, these are clips that are great for X. Okay. That's what all this is for. All your kicks, all your camps, and everything else that you're doing, all this is great for X. Okay. But what we need to do, I'll kind of get how we need to make it and everything, is we need to make sure we provide a actual highlight video to these coaches. Okay, kind of just, they would rather see the game situations and the game time and like you in the game frame of mind and stuff like that. That's what they would rather see. Okay, but to start building that, we need to start with that information slide at the beginning. Okay, and the best way to go about this is you need to have an information slide, and you go on Canva. All right, you'll do this for free, and on that slide, you're going to put the information of your name, school, graduation year, position, height and weight, X account, email, and phone. Okay, put that information on the left. Put a picture of you on the right. All right, download that and then upload that to the very first thing on your video. Okay. Now, the reason we want to do that stuff, so boom, as soon as the coach pulls up your film, okay, it's the first thing he sees, and he sees how he can contact you. Okay, how he can follow you on X, how he can send you a questionnaire via your email, how he can get in contact with you via phone number. Okay, because these college coaches' time is very short and valuable, and if they have to go try to search for that stuff, they could pass on you. Personally, I've had to do that before. When they're watching 60 to 100 kids in a day, it is very hard to try to go find that information. Okay. Now, going to the next thing. All right, and this is where you're being a kicker. It's a little bit different compared to other positions. Okay, so after you have that information slide, it's okay if you want to add a stat slide. Okay, you were this out of this for your field goals. You were this out of this under 25. You were this out of this PATs, hang time, whatever that stat is. Okay, touchbacks, whatever that is. That's the type of stuff you can have there. Okay, typically we don't have that, but for being a kicker, and a punter, that's where that stuff's completely fine. Okay, next, go into your captions. Okay, usually we tell people not to remove the captions. Okay, but for you, it's a little bit different. So take this for instance, okay? Say this is in a game setting, all right? You could go on there, 57-yard field goal, middle, all right? And then kind of move up, maybe right hash, 35-yard field goal, okay? And we don't want to put our misses on there, obviously, so that's just kind of how they're going to know. Or you get to kickoffs, all right? 60-yard field goal, or 60-yard kickoff touchback, 59-yard field goal type of deal, just that, hang time, those things, punt, same thing, hang time, net, all that stuff, the stuff they're wanting, okay? So that's really going to kind of clean things up. So boom, as soon as that clip pops up, that caption pops up there for 2 or 3 seconds, that way they can read it, and then you let the film run, okay? Now, the next thing we want to make sure is on your film, okay, on your video, we want to make sure that you remove the music, okay, or that there is no music and that there's no background sound, okay. So like on here, and we'll watch these really quick, that how these have the background sound, we want to make sure that they're not on there because we don't want to have anything that's going to distract that college recruiter from evaluating the film, okay. But we'll go over these really quick. Boom, good contact, good follow through. Like I said, it's the consistency for you, okay. The consistency. You tell your footwork's all the same. Your approach is all the same. All right. Great shot there, okay. Then go to the left hash. Okay, three great kicks right there. Okay, so like I said, they just want to see game film, but these are great clips to have on your X to send to these coaches. Okay, so how we want to make the flow of your film go. Okay, how we're going to do this? We're going to do all your kicks first, and then I saw on your X that you're a punter, so we want to put your punts on there as well. Okay, if you've only got kicks, just do your kicks. If you've got punts, do your punts because the coaches are looking for guys that can do both. Okay, that's going to help you out. Next, your sequencing kicks. You're going to start with your kickoffs. Okay, put your top 6, 7, 8 to 10 because your film really only needs to be about 2 to 3 or 4 minutes long. Okay, so put your kickoffs and then your field goals. All right, your best ones, one of the most consistent. Sometimes depending on how many you got, that type of deal. And then put just a few, not a lot, just a few PATs. That way they can see your timing. What's your timing like? Is he hesitating? What's the snap to kick time? That type of stuff. Okay, then we're going to go to your long punts. All right, put your long punts on there. Okay, then your situational punts. All right, you're backed up, coffin corner, punting to the right, punting to the left, punting away from the returner, whatever that is. Just put that stuff on there. Okay, that's really going to help you out and create a very good highlight to give to these special teams coordinator coaches and the kicking coaches. Okay, that's really going to help you out. All right. So first thing, like we said, we need to make sure we make a video to send to these coaches. Okay, add that information slide, add a stat slide, add the captions for each play. Make sure there's no background sound or music. We talked about that order and how the sequence is going to go, and overall, this will provide a more dynamic highlight video for college coaches. Now, after going over the game film feedback and talking about how we need to make a video, let's take a look at what divisions you should target. Okay, I'm basing this off the most recent clips. All right, which is exactly what college coaches are going to do, and where the athlete can receive a scholarship right now. I want you to understand this is a current evaluation opposed to a projected evaluation. Okay, and for you being a kicker, there's a few things that they're going to look at for criteria. They're going to look at your graduation year. They're going to look at your size. Okay, they're going to look at your accuracy and your leg strength. All right, but the biggest thing for you right now is making that highlight video. Okay, so with that being said, the levels you should look at today for a scholarship are D3 and NAI. Now, the biggest reason that I've chosen these two levels is due to the fact of not having a complete highlight video. Okay, like I said, the clips you got on here, these are the great things for X. Okay, leave those for X. But for how we need to make a video and send that to coaches, that's what we really need to get. Okay, now being a 2028, all right, I believe you can have potential to have a higher target with your levels, but we've got to make that video first. Okay, video is really going to help us out in the long run. All right. Now, this is what's really going to help us out too. Okay. We start making this video and getting it sent to these coaches and everything else, you should really start getting interest in offers from these college coaches. Okay. And if not, you need to start the communication process with them. All right. You need to email them. You need to call them. Okay. Some coaches may not be able to due to the graduation year, but make sure they'll get back with you. You just got to make sure you're staying up and keep contacting them. Okay. You need to start getting your name out there through social media, DMing these coaches, following these coaches on X. Okay. Like we're talking about, send them this stuff. Okay. Send them these clips. That's what's going to be very beneficial for you. Okay. Make sure we're marketing and branding yourself in the correct way. All right, that's going to be important. But then you also need to make sure you're attending the right prospect camps. Okay, this is camp season right now. Okay, we got to make sure we're attending the right ones. Making sure we're going to specialist camps. Okay, don't just go to the prospect camps. All right, you need to make sure we're going to the ones that are just for specialists. Okay, kicking camps as well are great ones to attend. All right, but then at the same time, okay, when we do these big camps and stuff like that, we got to make sure we're just staying on top, staying in communication with these coaches. Sometimes getting in the smaller group or smaller handful of schools camps with these specialist camps, that helps out because it's more of a one-on-one deal. Okay, you can develop a relationship with that coach. You might say, hey, tweak this approach, or hey, change your stance a little bit, or try this, try that. Okay, and that's stuff they're going to remember. Okay, that's stuff that really makes it more personal and build a relationship with you. Okay, because then when you send them that mid-season highlight, they're going to have the relationship and know who they're watching. They're going to say, oh man, I really like what he's doing here. I like this approach. I like how he's changed that stance or something like that. Okay, you can really tell he's developing. Okay, but here's the deal. How can we also attack these levels and get better? Okay, my suggestion to improve your game that translates to college football and possibly a higher division are the following. All right, first thing, okay, is strength training. Okay, this is going to help with just more and more power. Okay, not having to put as much into it. Okay, to expand farther back. You're seeing guys kick 60+ yard field goals now. Okay, this is going to come through some explosive fast twitch movement exercises. Okay, squats are a great way to deal with. All right, single leg stuff, fast twitch like we're talking about. That's really going to help. Okay, next for you. Okay, just consistent, and this is for all kickers. A consistent kicking and / punting technique. Okay, you can tell in all of these clips here. Okay, your approach. All right, how you're doing it all. Okay, most of it's completely the same, and that's what we want to be the same. You watch those guys in the NFL. Okay, all their approaches are the exact same. Okay, how they approach things, how they're on the left hash, right hash, middle, how are they going to do it? That's really going to help them out. Okay, then the master situational craft. Okay, under pressure punts. Okay, directionals. We kind of talked about that. Same thing when you're doing kickoffs. Kickoff from the middle and to the left. Kickoff from the middle and to the right. Left hash stuff. Boom. Right hash stuff. Boom. Onside kicks. All that stuff. I remember we're being college coach when we were coaching and stuff like that. Having kids when we have specialists out working on their onside kicks. We want to know, can they kick an onside kick or not? Because you might need that in the game. So they got to know these things whether or not that's going to happen. Okay. So having that situational craft. All right. That's stuff that's really going to pay dividends for you in the long run. All right. So got to make sure we're doing that stuff right. Okay. Because these improvements are what a kicking college coach will look at. All right. So we got to double down, do all these things. Okay. Hit it hard. And if it translates to your video, this can help you level up your evaluation and possibly have an opportunity at that D2 level. But like I said, I think you could possibly be hired, but they just want to see the game film. So we got to make sure we make that highlight video first. Okay. But Gavin, at the end of the day, man, everything's really going to come down to your individual work, your outreach, as well as your marketing on social media. Okay. Being a 2020 kid and being a kicker, your social media presence is going to be very, very crucial for you. Okay. It's going to be big. All right. And then that relationship building with college coaches, like we've talked about, which is why the next step is your athlete interview. You're going to get interviewed with the coach, get coached on communication, and your interviewing skills, which is critical for the conversations about start having with college coaches. So make sure you watch the video beforehand, be ready to go. If you have any questions, we'll be able to answer them at the end of the interview. Thank you.